to make sure I thought as if it was a clean slate and just try to shoot the best that I can today and not think about the stroke advantage, because come the final 2 days, that's not going to be in existence. You know, as long as I can keep that mindset, I think it'll be good to just build off of that. Pretty satisfied. Had a couple of late bogeys sprinkled out throughout the round. Feeling really good about the birdies I was picking up, so even surprised myself a little bit on some of those harder holes. I feel good, yeah.
In the woods, anything can happen, so I can't say I felt comfortable, but it was nice having those strokes. I feel like I got pretty well off the tee. Yeah, did not make any major mistakes. Just tried to keep it as simple as possible out there.
Feeling okay, just like make mistake here and there, and overall, you know, I'm happy with my putting. Save a lot of par, bogey with the putting, but the driving is kind of like here and there. Hey, Nevin, you know. So this week I forced myself, okay, practice and go putt. Yesterday I'm probably do like 50 or 60. I know it's not healthy for my arm, but I feel like I have to. This is too big, then I could not think anything else. So I whatever I have to make my putting solid, I have to do it.
Hello and welcome to the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships presented by Barbasol. Hopefully we get more slow motion own reaction cam like that. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the Two Hot Keys.
Honk.
And we're here for it.
Yes, we are. We love that.
Day 2 of this new format. We have all top 20 players jockeying for the top 8 positions where scores will reset tomorrow, playing for the championship purse, a 4th consecutive year record-breaking $40,000 for the grand prize. Pretty amazing.
Those stroke advantages do not last after these first 2 days. They don't reset. There's just no advantage for the final 2 rounds. So today is very important. Kristin Tattar, first place in Circle 1X putting with the biggest stroke advantage today.
Missy coming into this with 2nd in tour points. She is 4th landing in Circle 1 in regulation, 5th Circle 2, and 7th in... Oh, I see. Yeah, I said that wrong, but you can read.
Yep. Own Scoggins. She is 3rd in tour points, so she has the 3rd biggest stroke advantage in these 2 semifinal days. She's first place in Circle 1X putting, tied with Kristin Tattar, no surprise. 2nd place in fairway hits. She was keeping them in the middle yesterday.
Holyn and Own both coming in with a 3-stroke advantage. Holyn is 50% in Circle 2 in regulation yesterday, 4th in Circle 2 putting at 30%. Pretty nuts. Same card as yesterday. Should be a fun watch.
Yep. Hole 1, 340 feet, the most straightforward of the holes on the course. That parking lot on the right is out of bounds. The tree line left is safe. A big forehand will get you there, but most players are going to just find themselves somewhere in Circle 2 and hoping to can a long putt for birdie here.
Up first, let's give a warm welcome to Miss Kristin Tattar.
Kristin Tattar, our 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour champion. No FPO player has successfully defended this championship title. It'll be interesting to see if Kristin can do it.
Kristin taking the aggressive route here. She finds herself early in the trees, but thankfully sits down.
Next on the tee, please help me welcome Miss Missy Gannon.
Missy Gannon has a Pro Tour Championship title under her belt as well. She has finished out this season with some really, really strong disc golf and been one of the top runners on tour for the past few years.
And we know when there's a lot of money on the line, Missy comes to play. She's going backhand turnover here with her thrasher. It hits a little earlier than she would like, but she's safe.
Up next, please put your hands together for Miss Own Scoggins.
Own just continuing to impress, using this flex game that she's so well known for, even on the narrow wooded fairways of Nevin. It really does blow my mind.
Yeah, consistently. Own a little early on the right side, similar spot to Kristin. She'll have a long putt.
Rounding out our card, please help me welcome Miss Holyn Handley.
Holyn with a really strong showing yesterday. Just some hiccups on little things like approaches and maybe some Circle 2 putting, but her game overall looking really, really solid. She's just coming off that throw pink victory. So hopefully using this momentum.
Yeah, she didn't get the blue memo, though, so I feel like she's starting, just a little behind everyone else.
One step behind for sure.
Really great shot, though. She must know she needs to catch up to the other ladies. Missy up first. Super long look at it.
Low ceiling, so just laying this one up.
This is one of the few holes that's a completely new hole or completely redesigned hole from previous years. If you didn't watch the round yesterday, 15 holes are the same, though they are drastically reordered. So it might look a little different than previous years.
Yep, they redesigned it for spectator purposes and parking purposes. And overall, I think they made some really good changes.
Mm-hmm. And they sure made it harder. It's about 1,000 feet farther than last year for the FPO layout.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that much longer.
Yeah. Ooh, what a start. Holyn in for birdie.
Not many birdies today, only 3 out of our 19 FPO competitors. Jennifer Allen and Katrina Allen getting the other 2 birdies on the day, and that's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's really tough to get under par at this course. You're going to see as we enter the woods, and especially on the back 9, just the highest level of difficulty out here in these North Carolina woods.
I think because most of these ladies have a little bit of an advantage on the rest of the field with their strokes and also with solid play, we're going to see a little bit of a different game plan out here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, I want to let you know today's video is brought to you by Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. Their team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. If you're too busy this fall to cook but want to make sure you're eating well, with Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, and then get back to your day. With 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options, there's always something new to try. And if you're like me and you want to cut back on takeout, get Factor instead. So if you're ready to ditch the takeout and get started today, Factor is hooking you all up with an awesome deal. You're going to go to factor75.com and enter code JomezPro50 at checkout. That's going to get you 50% off your first Factor box. That's code JomezPro50 at factor75.com or click the link down below to get 50% off your first Factor box. All right, let's get back to it.
Hole 2, a par 3 at 366 feet. Very narrow, slightly uphill. This is a really tough one to get any kind of putt, even circle 2. I like the forehand, kind of to the left side. Backhand turnover can work. Like many holes out here, just hit the main gap and hope you progress most of the way there. But were there any birdies on this one yesterday? There's very few, at least.
Let me look. I remember the circle 1 percentage being low.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 competitors and only 6 getting to circle 2. So more than I expected, but not very many.
They are statistically the best players we have.
Yep.
So this year. Holyn low and early with her forehand.
Yeah, like I was saying before the ad, I think maybe especially these 4 competitors are gonna not play as aggressive here. I think they're gonna be a little bit more worried about just keeping it in the middle. We'll see. I feel like that's what I would do if I had strokes to play with.
Generally, you're right, but that was like a grand brace, very aggressive play from Kristin Tattar. I do think generally you are correct, but the way that these fairways are out here, a lot of times you aren't necessarily rewarded for disking down.
Yep.
So it's an interesting gameplay out here.
Yeah, you kind of have to play aggressive.
Missy gets most of the way down there with her thrasher.
Or maybe it's opposite. They're so comfortable with their strokes that they just play their normal game plan.
Talk to Missy about it a little bit, and she said it was really weird coming into this, knowing the scores are going to reset, and it doesn't really matter what they do today as long as they make it in the top 8, and it was almost harder to focus.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Totally.
And like, are you going to take some off, or are you just going to keep pedal to the metal? It's such a weird mental state.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a brand new format, so players have never really been in this position before, and I can't speak for all of them, but that's just what Missy mentioned.
Maybe
a little bit different kind of focus.
Mm-hmm.
Holyn gonna have a putt for par. Missy leaves her layup a little short, but she's just inside the circle.
It's played in the top most difficult holes of the day. Only, let's see here, only one person got to circle 1 and only 4 got to circle 2 for a birdie putt.
Holyn comes up on the left side for her par save. Gonna have some work coming back.
Yeah, she ran that one really hard. Very aggressive bid.
Super wide straddle from Missy here, trying to save her par as well. Banned.
Again, limbo practice.
Yeah. Finally to Kristin's drive. This is her birdie attempt. Coming up low.
A nice conservative bid. There were no birdies on the day today. So this one is good for par.
Great comebacker for Holyn.
A round of pars from everyone else on our... Or no, Missy with a bogey. This one feels kind of... This is a rough bogey. Just stacking one up on hole 2, you know, already.
I mean, it's an early bogey, but... Oh, here we go. Here's that own reaction cam you were hoping for.
Yay, more.
What's interesting is the score separation is not that high. Like, let's see, rounds... Hold on. So, +2 to, like, let's see, to Holyn. There's only less than a handful of strokes separating those key positions.
Yeah, even with the advantages. This is a par 5, even at only 630 feet. It's just short and really technical. It's one of those fairways where a disc doesn't really just fly. You maybe have to get through a corner, cut through some trees in order to get that birdie look. Most people are going to throw a flex forehand or maybe a little flip up backhand to a little teeny landing zone that opens up the second shot, which is mostly the second half of the fairway. There is some downhill and some little guardian trees in the middle of the fairway that will come into play. There's a Mando on the right too, about halfway down, that can come into play if you kick right early.
That's a great shot. Right before that little wooden break in the fairway, lined up with that, that's going to be ideal. Own with her. Oh, it's a Halo Leopard 3. Did I always think that was a destroyer? You know?
I feel like she threw a destroyer yesterday.
You know, it doesn't matter. It was a good shot.
Mm-hmm. This is very similar to one of the other fairways on the course where the angle's kind of closed and pinched. So the gap at least is pretty big, but it's the secondary gap after you start to fade your disc that gets difficult to hit.
Very. Holyn, pretty early on that drive. But it doesn't really matter where you get distance on this hole because, like we said, I think this is the one yesterday where you said it'd be really funny if we just drew the whole map, like the way that people play it. Oh, wow. Missy in it. Really great spot as well. Because it would just be short, angular with a couple tree hits in there.
Especially on the second half of the fairway.
Yeah. Holyn with a decent recovery. She's about 20 feet or so to the side of where you would like to be. Pretty.
Yeah, a really nice straight backhand from Own. Missy working that turn line. Gets a nice gentle skip to right into the middle of the fairway. That's so good. That's really all you want to do over and over again here at Nevin.
Yeah, no kidding. Holyn having to throw the turnover sidearm. Not trying to get too crazy. Looks like she's just playing for par here.
Kristin has room to work a possibly huge forehand here. She's pushing deep just like you need to. Sadly, she'll be pinned up against one of the fairway trees, but she's really good at those step-out shots.
Yeah, kind of, not the best result for a phenomenal shot there. Ooh, a little early out of the hand for Holyn. She's going to kick right, and saving par is going to be a feat from there.
Owen with such a good approach shot to the green. Just a little standstill, working all the room she has available.
And bullseye's edge for a birdie there. All right. It wasn't as hard as I thought from back there. Holyn able to throw a pretty standard chip shot. I think I thought she was somewhere else. Just lost in the woods, daydreaming.
Yeah. A lot of these shots do look similar on
Don't
camera.
they?
Yeah. Lots of really nice large trees.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It was a lovely day to be out too. Missy catches a tree. He's going to drop a little short.
Kristin with the easiest up and down for a birdie look ever, and she's in the bullseye.
Missy for birdie, about 40 feet away, comes up low. More work than you want for a bogey save.
Solid. Her putting was looking so solid yesterday, too. If she missed, it was dead center, just maybe a little high or a little low.
That was a little awkward, too. She was right on a tree root. It was well done. Own in for a birdie.
First of the day, but otherwise a clean scorecard.
Same story for Kristin.
I kind of wonder who on the card's checking scores and how often. We know Kristin doesn't really ever, but I feel like on this type of a format, maybe they would want to check a little earlier in the round. And
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly be tempted.
Yeah.
Hole 4, par 4, 640 feet. Really difficult par 4 here. You want to land in this opening, in this clearing, obviously. It's nice to land a little more right on the second shot and then just a nice easy chip up for your par. You can't really throw a full power shot on the drive to be able to attack for a birdie. Obviously, because I said that, these ladies are going to do it, but it is going to be really something to see a ton of birdies out here. It's definitely possible. I should really look stuff up in advance. Did we see any here yesterday? I think we probably did, but it's tough.
Yeah, we saw 3.
Okay, so not too many. Kristin with an Opto Explorer.
But only
Again,
three people got inside the circle and only 6 got to circle 2. So it's tough to get there and give yourself a look.
Yeah, this first shot is definitely more of a placement shot than a distance shot. Own, looking like she's going for the distance. A little right side there.
Even if you do get big distance and let's say you hit the fairway dead center all the way down, it's really difficult to get your disc to lay down where it needs to. So it's almost not worth it. Oh, man.
Missy in a similar position as Own on that right side.
Placement shot so close to being perfect.
Holyn with her Z Jawbreaker Vulture.
Ooh, I like this play.
Me too.
A little low, work the skip. So good.
Yeah, right next to Kristin. And I think that's the play. Kristin, Missy and Own definitely have to work a little harder for their par.
Yeah, Own just not trying to bite off too much on the second shot, and that's just the name of the game here at Nevin.
This really isn't a difficult par. It's just a difficult birdie. It might be for Missy, though. She's pretty tucked in here.
Just a forehand chip out to the fairway, and hopefully she has a little bit more of an open look, but this fairway turns pretty awkwardly at this point.
Holyn kind of pushing that back wall, which you really have to do to get there on the backhand. Super good shot.
This is a really cool fairway. It kind of frames up your shot, but it's so easy to push deep. Mm-hmm. You also can't really hug that inside line because there's a hill with some shrubbery that can knock you down pretty easily in circle 2. Ooh.
Needs a big skip, and she gets it.
That's so good.
Yep. Missy parked for her par. It's a great scramble. Gets a Missy shrug.
It works.
Yeah. Want a Missy shrug counter in the corner.
Owen with a pretty wide open look. She's very comfortable with this angle and working the skip. Nice.
Wow. Owen Scoggins, the most touch with the fastest discs.
Mm-hmm.
Kristin approaching with a forehand harp chip shot, one of her specialties. Holyn for a birdie here. She's nearly 50 feet away, it looks like. Oh,
Come
jam. She was
on.
walking in right out of her hand.
Yes.
And Holyn not really looking to get any pars today, it looks like.
Wow.
Sweet putt.
Love that. She's one of only 3 birdies today. Ella Hansen and Haley King also getting it. That one feels good.
Lead card coming away clean on hole 4. Checking in with the rest of the field. Keep an eye on that 8th position. It's only a stroke apart with those bottom spots. I feel like that's where a lot of I almost wish we were watching that card. That's where like the action is, you know what I'm saying?
That's what makes this format so cool. Hole 5, 630 feet. One of the most difficult holes yesterday. It's in the top 6 today. And it's just because of lack of birdie ability. This second shot is so difficult. Your first shot does have to avoid a mando that's on the left-hand side. Some common mistakes are turning your disc over too far right or pinching too far left after the mando with a hyzer. You just got to throw something really, really straight. And then your second shot, just kind of deal with what you've got because the trees are not really set up in a distinct fairway. It's just lots of individual little gaps you have to pick between.
Holyn with an undertaker a little on the right side. We saw most of the women on the card end up kind of on that right side. Kristin did as well yesterday. I think Missy was the only one to get through clean left.
It's a little bit easier to attack over there. Maybe not that
I don't
early.
think so. I think that's the way to get to the landing zone. If you hit the gap and end up short left, it's a gettable par, but you probably can't birdie. So I can see how it would be tempting to just overturn it just a little bit. Ooh, that's a smooth shot. Owen's going to be on that left side, like we were saying. Super difficult birdie, but probably an easier par than the right side. Missy throwing her 5th thrasher off the tee for the round.
And that was such a good line and angle, but you really do have to push that one big guardian tree in order to get the good shot.
Holyn in a terrible spot. Just pitching out pretty much an identical play to yesterday. I don't believe she was able to save the par from there yesterday. We'll see if she can.
It's such a hard shot, especially with the sloped green. And yeah, the way the trees are all lined up, there's really just not one good line. You have to kind of poke and hope a little.
Missy hits early left, and that was probably the worst mistake in that instance than going right or deep. Solid forehand out from Kristin.
Holyn trying to get through everything.
Pretty dang good from
bad.
there.
Yeah, that was great. A downhill putt, left for par.
Yeah. As you said earlier in the flyover, this one just does not see a whole lot of birdies. So tough.
Just so much distance is required on the second shot, too.
And the angle's kind of awkward. Own, kind of a conservative, just par play, it looks like. Missy, this is a very sharp hyzer angle from where she is to the green. It's going to be hard not to catch, some trees. And she does, I don't even think she's in circle 2.
Kristin with a more open look towards the basket, but it's not an easy shot because you do have to get this disc to fade, turn just like that and then fade at the end softly because this hill is so sloped.
It looked like the right angle, but Kristin catches a tree, gets a pretty bad kick. It feels weird, right? Like the energy feels weird on the card. Like, oh, we just need to make it.
Yeah, just kind of getting by and trying to minimize
Just
mistakes.
getting by.
I guess
That's
here.
what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's going to be more exciting tomorrow.
Yeah, and you can see people just kind of like, whatever, dealing with their bogeys.
Yeah, like it doesn't really matter.
No.
They're not like as desperate to get rid of them, you know? Kristin lays up nicely for her bogey. Here's Own's nice little, I was going to say easy chip shot for a par, but she flirts with a tree and she knows it. Feeling flirty.
I don't know if the vibes are weird on the card or just in the commentary booth.
I'm so tired. I don't know why we're not even playing.
No, and we just don't know how to like hype this up. But hopefully, as long as everyone continues to play pretty solid, it'll be a nice, easy round.
Well, the next 2 days are going to be very exciting as well.
Yeah, Holyn having a little bit more to do than you want.
Oh, yeah.
She seems to kind of be just a hair off, making things exciting. But really
Not
nice
getting
comeback
any
putt.
pars.
Yeah, really nice comeback putt for bogey.
That's her second really solid comeback putt. And again, she's not out of it by
No.
any means, even though she's had 3 bogeys already. She's got some really great birdies.
Missy with a nice bogey save as well.
Missy still looking to find some green on the scorecard. No birdies yet. Own with the only clean scorecard on the lead card here so far.
This is another course where being bogey free is almost more impressive than just like getting a ton of birdies.
Absolutely. Oh, it's a cool slow-mo putt of Holyn's save there. Let's see. Haley King 1 under par, Jessica Weiss 2 under, Katrina Allen 2 under. Everyone else in that top 10 just a little over. Hole 6, par 5, 805 feet. Just get past this tree line, and then you'll have a pretty easy chance to birdie. It's still long and a small landing zone, but as long as you line yourself up to this tunnel, it's a pretty straightforward upshot across an out-of-bounds ditch to get the birdie. Definitely played as one of the easiest ones yesterday. By no means easy, just easier than everything else and a little bit more open. Oh, there is OB all along the left side pretty much the entire way as well. That is really turned over. It turns into a thrower for Own. I don't really know what she's going to be dealing with, but most likely just playing for par.
Yeah, this one is significantly different from where the MPO tees off of. They have a Mando that's just short and left behind our tee pad here. And I think there's got to be like maybe a middle ground because this does play as one of the easiest holes again. I think the 3rd easiest hole again today. Like Own can still, even with that thrower shot, save a par.
She can definitely save a par. Yeah, that's true. And it was not a good shot.
Not a great shot and a bad reaction.
But I mean, every other hole out here is so hard.
Yep.
You know, I don't think it's a bad thing to have a couple of those easier birdie holes that you really need to get.
And you still have to work for it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I agree with you there.
Kristin, great distance, catches a tree, kicks right. Can probably still birdie, but it's going to be a really awkward angle, I think, compared to normal to get to that secondary landing zone.
Also, the little OB creek right before the basket with the potential for rollaway, it's nice to have that one extra stroke to work with in case you just do get a bad break on the green.
I feel like they listened to me when I said it doesn't really matter where you land. Like it does matter, actually. No one really getting clean through that tree line. I mean, that's a pretty big gap to hit, so just kind of surprising. Own with a, I don't know, not the most aggressive play. They're just trying to play for par, it looks like.
Last year, this used to be hole 18, right? Didn't it?
Yes.
I think it was. So
you're right.
This, the last hole, the really, really difficult hole 5 and this hole 6 were kind of funky finishing holes.
Holyn OB on the right in those trees.
Oh, I didn't even realize how much it pinches over there.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't usually come into play too much. I feel like this left side and this creek comes into play a lot more. That was a fantastic shot from Missy.
Yeah,
Especially
protruding into the gap from way out there. That's unbelievable.
She landed at least 50 feet short of where you'd like off the tee, too, so that's really impressive. Kristin, she's trying to throw probably a turnover to the corner. Like, that's not going to be lined up to the gap, I don't think. It's a little bit too far to the left. But it's not bad. She'll just have to throw likely a turnover sidearm kind of out and around the corner.
Yeah, flex shot to the green over the OB creek. Own getting well down into the gap as well on her third shot. She'll have some trees in her way, but a fairly straightforward chip shot.
We'll see how aggressive Holyn wants to get here. She has been just laying up. It looks like she was going across.
Oh yeah,
doesn't
she
it?
was sending it.
Yeah, and not a bad result. She's in bounds. Yeah, I feel like Holyn's been playing a more conservative game. When she gets into trouble, she's just been pitching out, where we've seen a little bit more aggression in past tournaments. But that was a full send.
Kristin really pinched.
Whoa.
Yeah, she was really pinched, and trying to get that disc to turn as much as she needed to was going to be really tough.
Own dealing with quite a few small trees in the way, fights her way through to looks like circle's edge for a birdie look. Missy, this is a low-key eagle look.
Nice.
This is one of those ones where I kind of think we'll see at least a strong eagle bid from circle 2 before the weekend's out. Like someone, has a phenomenal tee shot and then goes huge on the second shot, maybe gets a skip across the ditch.
Or just cans a really big putt.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost half the field got to circle 1 for birdie.
Yeah, our lead card here is making this one look a lot tougher than it is.
Ooh, a nice line from Kristin from way outside.
Own with one very gnarled tree in the way. Wow. That was sweet.
That looked
good. We get to
crazy.
see it again.
Yay, new angle. Cool. I did
That's
not really.
sweet. Is that a vine, actually?
Yeah, she really had to push the ceiling.
Yeah, she
too.
did. Love that.
Sweet.
That's a stay bogey free.
That's her second kind of like tester putt to stay bogey free.
Yeah, it is.
Capitalizing. Holyn on that roller coaster.
Yeah, she's 2 up now. Still 0 pars, which feels crazy. Kristin, 2 bogeys in a row. Only 1 up, not bad. But again, I think the back 9 plays a little tougher. Missy getting her first birdie of the round. Also 1 over par. Katrina Allen and Allie Smith both 2 down through the front 9.
With a smooth, clean shave, every day is a clean slate. So who cares if you put all your money in crypto and called your boss an idiot? Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
Hole 7, 520 feet, a shorter par 4, but very technical. That OB on the left-hand side makes it very difficult to throw a backhand. Most people are going to throw a forehand, but you have to push the OB in order to open up this second shot to the green. It continues to U around, so being left really opens it up. This is one of those holes where even if you throw the most perfect forehand tee shot ever that pushes OB just exactly to the right amount, you still may not have a super clear second shot. You could have some trees in your way.
Yeah, it's like an automatic scramble on the second. Missy puts maybe a little too much turn on that. It does catch the ceiling and drop safe. I think it was going to be close.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's happy with that result.
Yeah, you kind of do have to get a little bit of turn on it. We saw Holyn yesterday try to force a hyzer all the way there and end up being pinched right
I saw Jessica Weiss do that hyzer flip up play with a forehand that pushes deep and then fades. And that was like the best drive I've ever seen on the hole. It was super cool.
Yeah, also so risky.
Very. Owen with a really great tee shot destroyer there.
Apparently, Holyn is all about some one angle throws. She doesn't necessarily like eye the flip up like Jessica does with turn or the flex shot like we see Kristin and Owen do so well.
That makes sense.
Because
Because she's known for her power hyzers, especially on the forehand, getting more distance than almost anyone else can on that single angle.
Yep. There she goes again. She does get a little tangled up on the right side. A little tricky. We'll see what she has to work with.
Kristin with arrive. That's looking solid. She's going to be lined up with that kind of secondary, earlier fairway.
We watched Missy fillet that yesterday.
It's tight, but it's kind of there.
Holyn far enough where she can't look at that. She's got to continue on and around. Ooh.
Love that. You need so much skip to even get close from where she was.
I love how she's always trying the skip shot or like including that in her game plan.
Me too. Missy went on that right side yesterday. Today, it looks like she's lining up the left side, but with a backhand. This needs so much turn.
Mantis?
Probably. Wow. That was fantastic.
It's like
Missy shrug.
Thrasher V2. You know? She's got the Thrasher, but she's also got the Mantis now.
That's all you need. Kristin, even after that great drive, not left with a great look at it, but makes it work.
Wow. She's so good at the flex shots, giving it height and giving it time to pan all the way back out.
Own. This is also one of the best drives I've seen. She actually has a relatively clean look at it, all things considered.
Wow.
And the approach destroyer makes good.
A little dance on the green to celebrate.
Holyn's third. Still a little bit of work here. Got to be careful. There's that one big tree in the way. That's a little more hyzer than you want. We're going to have to see Holyn with another tester. She hasn't quite made one of these yet, though she keeps making the comebackers.
Yeah, that's a little farther than you want to be on your third on this hole. A lot of the field, almost half getting to circle 1 for birdie.
Oh, wow. That's better than yesterday.
Yeah, 65 getting to circle 2 for birdie. So not having a putt on this one probably does not feel great. About 40% of the field ended up getting it.
Missy hits cage on her birdie bid, but she's right there for a par. Oof.
Pressure is mounting a little bit here.
That one hurts. And Holyn now in a tie for 5th. I mean, she's probably only, we'll check in with the leaderboard, but I'm guessing she's only about 2 strokes away from the cut line.
Yeah, generally on these types of situations where you're having to work your way towards the cut, it's crazy how everyone in the cut line kind of gets sucked towards it like a black hole.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah, like spots 5th through 8th and then like 9th through 12th are all going to like be shooting around the same.
Whoa.
The cut. Black hole.
The vortex. Own shredding it.
Yes.
Bogey free 2 down.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, Holyn now in a tie for 6th. Whoa, huge tie for 6th. 4-way tie for 6th. Oh my gosh.
Maybe even more.
Hole 8 is a downhill par 4, 548 feet. You have to choose right or left of that telephone pole in the middle. OB ditch here. Last year we saw a lot of women lay up before. We are seeing more and more go across because it makes the birdie pretty simple as you come back up this hill. If you are early either side on your tee shot, left or right, bogey comes into play so quickly. I feel like I've seen an equal amount, I think, of forehands and backhands. I think the backhands may be slightly more common, but also
I think it's just what you're comfortable with on this one.
Yeah. Have you noticed like right side or left side of the pole more often?
I think it's where your drive ends up landing. So
No, like on the drive, like who's choosing right or left. I feel like it's also pretty equal.
Yeah.
It's like halfway down on the first shot. Owen goes right of it. It looks like she stayed safe. I can't tell. Was she short or across?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Kristin definitely trying to go across here, and she does pretty easily.
I think this is one of those holes. It kind of reminds me of Fox Run, like hole 14, I think, where you just kind of aim at the pole and know that you're going to miss it.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, it is a lot like that.
Uh-huh.
This is another one of those holes, though, with how downhill it is. It just really highlights the angle of your disc. You have to get the disc going at the right angle early. Like Missy had a little bit too much turn here, and then it kind of gets out of hand quickly if you're not careful. Not a terrible spot for Missy to land, but probably going to take birdie out of play.
Holyn definitely eyeing up the green
Oh, yeah.
here.
She's going force, very aggressive, right side of the telephone pole. Good amount of turn. It just, I was going to say, if it just faded a second earlier, that was looking great. So Owen landed pretty early, actually.
Mm-hmm. And that, I mean, I don't know if that's part of her game plan, but with her distance and with her injury right now, I think in being comfortable with her approach game, she doesn't really have to do much more than that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a good correction from yesterday where she threw that forehand early into the ground. She'll have at least an easy par and a really long look at birdie. Missy overturns her approach here. Not really sure. Did you see where it landed? Circle 2?
Yeah, it looks like circle 2 with some obstructed trees. Some obstructions.
There we go.
We're here.
We're
Look at
here.
Fall. Look at fall happening. Wow.
Holyn trying to ring that up.
Checks up nicely, too, on this slopey hill. This one's cool. It's like a backboard.
Missy's third, little step out sidearm. A little bit overturned. Maybe about 25 feet for a par look. Kristin. You think Kristin's going to give this a little run?
Yeah, I think a forehand little soft bid for
Yeah.
sure. Why not? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
60% of the field got to circle 1 in regulation. 70 got to circle 2. So this one.
Man, Owen even farther than I thought. That's so good.
Yeah,
she was
she's
pretty far back
Uh-huh.
off the tee.
But her approach game, I mean, I know she's one of the best putters in the world, but also her approach game is unreal.
Missy.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, Owen's second shot was pretty unbelievable there. Holyn gets the birdie.
There we go.
Every stroke matters heavily right now. I mean, she's right on that cut line. As a reminder, the higher seed is the one who progresses to the final round. So Holyn being seeded 4th, I believe, has, the best chance out of anyone on that cut line to progress. But still, you don't really want to be thinking about that.
No, but
about
at
what
the
anyone
very
else
least,
is doing.
at the very least today, though, she is minimizing double bogeys.
That's true.
We saw her errors kind of blow up whenever they did happen yesterday. So it's nice that she's minimizing it a little bit, but still a bit of a roller coaster out there for Holyn. Hole 9, another par 4 at 580 feet, another very technical par 4. It's a really narrow tee shot. A straight backhand that's a little bit less aggressive can help with placement, or you can go huge on your sidearm and maybe get a little lucky, get way down here and have a look at being able to approach for birdie. Landing near the center fairway tree really sets you up for that second shot. The approach, though, is what can get you into trouble here. If you come in fast, there is out of bounds beyond the basket at about circle's edge.
Oh, now 3 down, still bogey free, going big sidearm. That's so good. She loves it. Man, the sidearm feels so crazy aggressive to me here. Respect, Kristin going fusion felon. That's pretty solid. I think she's going to fade a little bit more than Owen to the right, but still really good.
Just a little pinched.
Ooh,
So
that is
early.
so early.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that looks like a wall.
We feel that deeply.
Yeah.
Especially on any wooded course, but Nevin in particular can be brutal.
I love the easy backhand play. Missy gets caught up. That was close. Probably just a little bit too flippy. Like just a straight 200 and like 50-foot backhand.
It's nice to see Missy, though, when she does error, she's just overcommitting. The past 3 errors have been overcommitting. So
that's true.
She's sending it.
Holyn just going to pitch out on this one. Kind of pitching a little bit too far, actually. This has to be, I think, a flex shot going first left then right, and that is early again.
Super early.
Oof. She's in no man's land down there. Missy probably just going little turnover shot.
And that is the epitome of cool brain right there.
So smooth.
What a great recovery shot.
And it should make the par pretty easy as well.
This played is the second most difficult hole of the day. So it's all about just knowing that you're going to get out of position potentially on the tee and then just trying to do a nice clean recovery.
I believe it was the most difficult hole yesterday. Partially because it's
Top 3, yep.
Yeah, pretty terrifying to approach this basket because the out of bounds line is right at circle's edge going downhill.
And that log that's
Catches
laying
them.
down, it's just in the absolute most perfect spot to make you think or to punish you. And both.
Holyn having to pitch out for the second time on this hole.
Oof.
Yeah, the best she can do is double bogey here.
Man, that wasn't a dare. Talking about her lack of doubles.
Oh, man, you did.
It's my fault.
It's on you.
It's my fault. I'm so sorry.
Owen with a really good second shot, kind of getting collected at the log, as we mentioned.
Yeah, you feel great about a second shot anywhere near that log.
Missy, similar shot to what she just threw, actually. Little backhand floaty turnover. Which is a little straighter than she wants.
First one that wasn't quite committed, but it's fine. She still has a long putt. It's a little bit of a death putt, though.
Holyn really wanting to put this one close here. Just get off the hole.
Oh, no.
Oh. Ooh.
Oof.
Oof.
This approach is so scary. But she knocks down even earlier than I thought. I thought she was closer to the log.
And that's just a layup, which is smart. But yeah, this one hurts wrapping up the back nine. Missy, can't quite tell if she looks like she's lining it up for a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, soft.
It's a bogey.
Softy, yeah. She's really good at those.
Kristin's third. She's going to be parked for a par there.
Both Missy and Kristin have some wiggle room, so no need to go crazy on this green.
Man.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a brutal one. Hopefully Holyn can bounce back. She's going to slide down the leaderboard. We'll see where she is on that 8th place cut line here in a moment. Owen just shredding, just doing what she does. 3 down.
Shredding and bogey free. It's really just unbelievable.
Some drama here. Let's see.
Haley King moving up into a 3rd place position. 4 down through 10. Wow.
Holyn just slid down to 12th.
Holy moly.
So she is, it looks like, 3 strokes off the cut line. Some work to do on the back nine.
Jessica Weiss doing well. Allie Smith sliding up. Katrina Allen doing the same. Stacey Rawlsley, Kat Murch putting together some solid rounds. Just being under par or even just close to even par is great out here. We do have 9 more holes of the second and final round of the semifinal. So come hang. The back nine of Nevin is brutal. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geese.
Honk.